Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we're going to be talking about socially responsible investing. We'll get an explanation from the Vice President of Eagle Venture Fund next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
You've heard me talk about Success North Dallas many times on this show, and we're honored always to have these amazing speakers. And as often as I can, I like to get the speaker to go straight from the meeting to my studio so I can introduce him or her to my viewers. And I was blown away by the performance of my next guest, Vipperman. He's the Vice President of Eagle Venture Fund. Thanks for coming on the show.
Glad to be here.
Absolutely. And I think people have heard this expression, socially responsible investing, but let's kind of get a 101. What is that?
Yeah, it's really investing into things that can transform the world socially. If you think about issues like human trafficking, recidivism, jobs and poverty, it's really investing in those types of things that can help pull people out of really difficult situations and get them change their trajectory, give them a new opportunity in life.
Sure, and you made the point that many people would probably be shocked at the companies that they're invested in now, even on the stock market, and they have no idea that this company is also investing in these things that would repulse them. So how does Eagle Venture Fund work to make sure that the money goes to the right places?
Yeah, so Eagle is a venture capital fund. We invest in early stage technology companies. Our theory is to look at 5,000 companies in a year and pick the very top few, maybe 10 to 15 companies in a year that we'll invest in. So the funding is diversified across a series of companies. And we spend a lot of time diligencing the companies, looking at the founders, and just looking at the impact that they're trying to have with their business. So once we find these ones that we really like, we get behind them, and then our platform helps them grow, scale their company, and continue to do better.
I want to pull up your website, and as we scroll down the website, you mentioned human trafficking. What are some other pillars that you have formed?
Yeah, we love, fintech, ed tech, healthcare tech. We've invested in some BR companies like the first one you just saw. But our passion is really to serve those 3 areas, which are human trafficking and slavery, technology, like things to fight that, things to help people in poverty, so technology to upskill with jobs, and then also healthcare innovation, oftentimes for the poor, for people that are downtrodden and in tough situations.
And this might be an appropriate time to talk about your background. You're something of a world traveler, and you've done a lot of mission work. How does that shape the person you are now and what you bring to Eagle Venture Fund?
Yeah, being exposed to serving people all over the world, I just really got a chance to see people in their most vulnerable areas. Right, we've gotten to see the people that were selling themselves. We've gotten to see the folks that were serving in difficult parts of the world and getting paid very little money. And so just really a heart for trying to help those people get out of those difficult backgrounds and build a life for themselves so they can be comfortable, be a contributing part of society, and just feel confident about their job and their life.
Absolutely. I want you to set the stage for this next video that we're going to show, the Lions Den DFW. Tell me about the organization.
Yeah, so about 12 years ago, a group of folks out of Birmingham, Alabama had been giving, had been investing, and they said, it'd be fun if we brought together some of our favorite organizations that are having a significant impact in the world and brought them together, let some friends hear them pitch, and potentially get behind a few of them. One of the gentlemen in particular was actually painting some houses in Haiti on a recent trip, and he said, I've got 100 people standing around watching me paint this house. And what they really want is not for me to paint this house. What they really want is a job, something that gives them confidence and can help them take care of their family. And he was like, so if we went back and instead of just throwing aid at these different countries, what if we could help build businesses that would employ local people that could help transform lives and communities? And so Lions Den is, every year we have 10 companies, both in Birmingham, Alabama, and in Dallas, Fort Worth. So now it's in 2 locations. Nice. Every year we have, in April, we bring 10 companies together. They share their business on stage in front of a room full of investors, and as well as a room full of people who are just there to kind of learn and grow. We call it venture-tainment. So it's a great opportunity. About $30 million has been invested in those companies over the last 10 years across 90 companies. And it's just been amazing. Some of them have already exited and done well. A few of them, are still kind of working to try to build. But it's anything from, a person with a PhD background who is doing training and trying to help develop a program for those with speech therapy issues, but in the Chinese language for the very first time. One group was hiring people out of trafficking, survivors of trafficking, and saying, man, if we could get them job trained and ready, then they can be successful employees and they go on to build. So they started a real estate photography business in America with all their back office in these places overseas where they're training the women to have a full-time career. So incredible opportunity.
Sure. And this morning you compared it to Shark Tank, and you had an expression you used.
Yes. We say it's often like a Shark Tank for Jesus. I'm not sure if Mark, you would appreciate that or not. I'd like to think he would, in the sense that all the people that are there come from a church background. So most of them are Christ followers themselves, and just have a passion for honoring God through their business and also serving some part of the world and solving big problems.
Outstanding. You made a testimonial video about a year ago. Let's go ahead and roll that.
The Lions Den has been invaluable. They've provided encouragement, prayer, discipleship, networking. They're giving us the momentum to carry on.
Growing up in the field of mutual business, service, and international relations, which cannot be realized without the help of Lions Den.
Building Christian business is really key. I think groups like Lions Den, where you connect capital with entrepreneurs, is critical.
Being part of the big family is a great experience, and so we're grateful for the connection and support, and also the resources we ever gain.
You get invited in to be part of the family, as they say in all of their events. You come in as strangers and you leave as family. When you get invited in as part of the family, then you get all of the family connections and all the family benefits. And so I think that's just an amazing thing.
I think it more than anything gave us this a deepened sense, or maybe heightened alertness to our mission. And also to the fact that, again, we're just stewards of this business, that God called us into this.
Seeing them in the same position that I'm in it warmed my heart. It felt like it felt like a fellowship where we were all in this together. And I love the fact that it kind of came up that this pitch thing is not a competition, not with each other anyway.
Talk about the multitude of counselors. I feel so grateful for you guys. I feel like you have created this family that's not about competition, but it's about cooperation. And you're generous. You allow us you encourage us to express our values.
The value is much more than the sum of its parts. There's plenty of faith-based capital, but it's really hard even now to find the right Christian investor at the right time. And you guys do that heavy lifting for people like us, and for that we are grateful.
We are really a family. And you saying that over and over again is really helping to reaffirm that truth that we are really a family.
Lions Den, we've gotten investors, we've gotten relationships, mentorships, we've gotten a context to be able to tell the story, to get the word out, personal friends.
And it has been an invaluable partner and resource for us, both in terms of companies that we've met, but more importantly, relationships.
But God has raised up a movement worldwide of these entrepreneurs who are like-minded, and they're collaborating and they're coming together and God is providing the capital for it.
Lions Den had a great deal, if not the most influence in what we did to Form Beyond. I can easily make that statement.
Vip, so powerful. Let's transition back to human trafficking. And I know you invest in companies that fight human trafficking. Give us an example of one of the companies.
Yeah, so when we say for-profit companies that fight human trafficking, what is that? One of our favorite companies we've been invested in is called Darkwatch. What they do is track data online. They're looking at 200 criminal syndicates and 30,000 illicit massage businesses nationally. It's incredible. There's 700 of them in Dallas alone.
Wow.
So with that data, they're actually tracking information where people post online their reviews of sex acts at illicit massage businesses, which is incredible. But through doing that, they get IP addresses, phone numbers, all kinds of information. Wow. So they're going to know the person who's doing the bad things, right? And they're going to know the places. So they can say, hey, Juju Bee Spa in Dallas, Texas has 100 reviews of people paying for sex there.
Wow.
So that's smoking gun evidence that bad things are happening here. And then they take that data and they not only work with law enforcement to help make arrests and get things taken care of, but they also sell that data to banks because banks are now getting fined for illicit massage business activity and other illicit activities going through their banking system. JP Morgan got fined about $290 million for banking the Epstein ring.
Yes.
And then since then, other groups are being taken to court because they're now culpable because the transactions are happening through their systems. And the answer of, I didn't know, doesn't really hold up in court.
Wow.
And so now the banks are willing to pay real money to get that data and to make sure these people that are trafficking or get out of their systems. So our hope is we will debank human traffickers.
Well, I'm so impressed with you and your heart, and I know a lot of this comes from the Lord, and much of it comes from your support system at home. You've got this beautiful Hallmark card family. Let's go ahead and put that on the screen. That does look like that came right out of a Hallmark card. Brag about your family a little bit.
Very thankful. We've got a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, and an 11-year-old, and then my wife and I have been married for 21 years. We served overseas together and did some amazing things kingdom-wise for about 10 of those years. Had 2 of the kids overseas and then had one as soon as we got back. So we always joke all of our children are made in China, just like everything else. It's an exceptional time.
Okay, well, let's have kind of a call to action. If somebody is watching this right now and they feel called to contact you guys, what do you want to leave people with?
Really, the fact that your investments can actually transform the world, and they specifically can transform people's lives to take them from darkness to light, and from hopeless to actually finding hope. So Eagle's Venture Capital Fund, people can connect to us through the website, through email, to learn about how they can invest and get involved and really just start paying a little bit more attention to the investments that they have and their impact on the world.
Outstanding. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. We're going to leave you with the website, which is eagleventurefund.com. The great Vipperman. Thanks for coming on the show.
Enjoyed it, Jim.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.